An Australian billionaire who banned work from home for his employees says that, he doesn't even want them to leave the office for a cup of coffee. It's even worse than that. Wait till you hear how he worded it. So this is Chris Ellison, who is worth $1.2 billion. He's the managing director for Mineral Resources. This is an Australian mining company. Now, during a tour of their headquarters in Australia, he said the following: "I want to hold them captive all day long. I don't want them leaving the building," Ellison told investors while presenting the firm's full year 2024 financial results. Now, there's a caveat here. He claims that his employees love working in the office because it includes all sorts of amenities. And you know what? It does include a lot of amenities. So let's go to the video and then I'll go to his next comment.
Welcome to MinRes HQ. This is a building like no other. It's been designed with your well-being in mind. Our family room is here to support you and your kids. This is next level. What are you writing today, Courtney?
Last leg of the Tour de France, Julie, I can't talk.
For most of us, coffee is a non-negotiable, so we made sure we sourced the best. Looking for the best place to eat in town? Benny's, our level 12 restaurant, is a food mecca and no reservations required.
Looks pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, but
hold me captive there.
I feel like we're already captive. Like, you get what I'm saying? And we don't have those amenities. So it's like, can I be captive and have the amenities?
What are you talking about, Anna? We got Doritos out there.
Do we?
Sometimes.
You gotta fight for them.
Oh yeah, when the Doritos come every week.
I see, the person who stocks the snacks. Sometimes I'm like, all right, where's he keeping the inventory? Because I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right, so here's what he said, because I think he could have actually worded this a lot better.
Yeah.
He did not word it well. He says, "I don't want them," meaning the workers, "walking down the road for a cup of coffee. We kind of figured out a few years ago how much that costs. Wandering out around lunchtime, we've got a restaurant in there. We've also got a gym, and we've got other facilities that keep them glued in there." Again, I just want to emphasize, like, I think most workers already feel glued. Like, if you're a white collar worker, you're working in an office, you already feel glued to your computer. You already feel like you can't step away and get something to eat, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe I live in a different world, but that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, well, look, guys, I'm gonna declare the guy totally not guilty, except for how he phrased it. How he phrased it was not smart, right? But look, in a sense, when we work for someone, you're a captive. You go in, you work for them for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is. And is it optional? Can you just go home and not work? No, you have to be there and you have to do that work. So it depends on how you frame it. Now, this idea of like, oh, let's keep them in the building. This brother is late to the game. This is what Google and Facebook have been doing for a long time. So if you ever go to any other one, like not the headquarters, but any of their offices,
They're
really.
campuses, they like to call it.
Campuses.
They're campuses.
Yeah, and so they have amazing food all over the place. They have everything you could imagine. They have exercise rooms. They even have places sometimes where you can take a nap, right? Because they don't want you leaving the building. Why? Because they did the math on it, just like this guy did. When you go out for lunch, it costs X amount of hours in productivity, and the food itself costs a lot less. So they're like, why don't we just give them the food, and that way they'll stay and they'll be more productive. That's true. So I actually think it's a win-win. I mean, who doesn't want really good food? When I was at MSNBC, they had a cafeteria at 30 Rock. Loved it, okay?
Yeah.
So, and it keeps you in the building and it's easier to go back and forth, you get it. On the other hand, when I worked in Miami with Ben, so Ben Mankiewicz and I worked together there. He was the anchor, I was the writer. We'd go to Starbucks down the street, which was Lincoln Road in Miami, which is awesome, for us to get coffee. We wasted so much time.
I know, it's great. Look, I remember the days that I would complain about, but now I dream about those days. It was when I only hosted the second hour and you never respected the second hour, so you'd go overtime like by 40 minutes. So like my role on the show.
I was just freeing you. I didn't want to hold you captive.
Right, okay. My role on the show was pretty minimal compared to what it is now. And so, I would go out, I would go to lunch all the time. Me and Johnny Pie, we'd go get tacos.
I like tacos.
You wanna do the first hour solo again?
I see, okay. But anyways, look, bottom line is just poorly worded. But I would love for us to get big enough where we could have catering here and all that stuff. We just don't have it. I wish we did, right?
Yeah, look, I think this is actually, putting aside his terrible messaging and phrasing, like put that aside. I actually think this is a better model, right? Because he's not forcing them to forego a lunch break. You can't literally hold your employees captive, but there's an incentive here, right? The incentive is we have in-house childcare, right? In fact, he even says, drop the little tykes off next door. We've got doctors on board and nurses. We're going to feed them, but mom and dad will be working in our office.
But by the way, if you live in America, that sounds like heaven.
That does sound like heaven. I don't even have kids and that sounds like heaven.
Yeah, because here we got to pay for childcare. It's so expensive. It's in a different place.
Yeah, you got to drop them off.
Yeah. Look, but at MSNBC, I would go out for lunch anyway sometimes. That's because there was a great pizza shop down the street. And I just wanted the greasy pizza and the pistachio muffin that they had.
You were wasting so much time, Jake.
And then at Miami, once we got back from the Starbucks, then both Ben and I would panic because there's a show at 7 o'clock. We got to get it done in time. And we were the two people who wrote it. So we're like, oh God, I would think, damn it, why do we go to Starbucks every day? Okay. But that one has a deadline. So that one you can't really cheat around with.
Yep.
And my final nonsense point of this conversation is what I dream about sometimes, and this is not going to be appealing to you at all, just so you're forewarned.
All right, okay.
The catering sounded good, right?
It did sound pretty good.
Yeah, one day, advertiser money, we'll see. Okay, but my dream is to have a basketball court inside the office.
Oh my God, that would be very annoying. As long as it's not like disruptive, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, it would, of course not. It would be that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And a little gym,
I like the idea of a nap room. Right? I mean, I don't think I'd ever actually take a nap in the middle of the day. I don't know if I'm physically even capable of doing that, but I like the idea of going somewhere that's like super quiet.
Yeah.
And no one's allowed to talk.
So the way we run things here is we care if you get your job done, period, right? I don't care how you got it done. I don't care if you took a nap or you didn't take a nap. I just care, is it done, right? So not complicated. But other places, they watch people like a hawk. They don't trust them. They're like, oh, what's going on, right?
Yep.
And so I feel like the nap rooms are so that the managers can buy, oh, Bobby's in there, Susie's in there.
Oh, that's a good point.
Demerit.
Oh my God, that's such a good point. But you know what, Cenk? It's true. It's true. Even if they're not literally documenting it, it's that like Calvinist work ethic in us. It's so bad where it's like, looks like someone's relaxing for a minute. No promotion for you. You know that's true. You know that's true. Oh, you leave as soon as the show is over. Why don't you just hang out in the office for shits and giggles? Because I don't need to. Because I don't need to.
Who says that?
Someone said that to me years and years and years ago who's not Cenk and was not a manager. But like, I was just like, fuck off. Okay.
Well, that took a turn.
I'm gonna leave when I want to leave. I'm gonna leave when the show's over. Anyway.
Okay, well, we got that out of our system apparently. Okay, that's what managers do all the time too. They're at home going,
Totally. I'm glad you know that.
No, I was messing around with my kids. Did I tell you this story? I forget if I said it on Old School or bonus episode. And I was telling Joy, you go do this, and then she said, well, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna be the manager. Okay, and she's like, well, what does a manager do? Manager tells you to do it. Okay, she's like, can I be the manager? Then I described like a quarter of a day that I go through in the managing.
It is not fun to be a manager.
By the end, she's like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Because you're not managing workflow. You're mostly managing interpersonal company drama, right? Like I feel like that's a lot of what management is. Because people have like different priorities or different pet peeves, and it's you're managing people more than anything, no?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, it's complicated. There's a million things that go into it. There's terrible managers, there's great managers, there's managers that are in the middle. Well, look, we keep forgetting about normal humanity because I feel like everything in media is so extreme. It has to be either this or that. It can't be anything in the middle. But they're like either all the corporate executives are saints if you're watching CNBC and Fox Business, et cetera, or all the employees are saints. I said, no, the reality is we're all human, right? We got a giant range. And by the way, everybody can, two different people can be great at their jobs and really good people and still miscommunicate so badly that it creates problems.
Yeah, that's when the manager comes in.
You're right, and then you got to sort that out, and you've got to, somebody here once told me a long time ago, they're like, man, it turns out managing is even harder.
It's terrible.
I wasn't expecting this. I thought like you go to management, that's where you take it easy.
Oh my God, that's executive. No, it depends.
But it depends. I bet you in a lot of companies, there's a lot of dudes who coast in management and have the easiest job ever. But our company's way, way too small for that. We're barely surviving. We're asking you guys for donations nonstop. We're okay. We're like that little cat that's hanging in by his nails, right?
Hang in there.
Hang in there. That's us. Ain't nobody got time for nap rooms.